How many times does Seto Kaiba cheat compared to Yugi? Well, in this video, we'll be tallying up who cheats the most as they go head to head in their most iconic duel, the clash in the Colosseum. The duelist with the most points will be awarded this trophy. So there's a lot on the line, guys, so make sure you watch until the end of the video to see who is the biggest cheater. The rules for this video: anytime the duelists don't follow the rules of the trading card game, no matter what it is, they get a point. So you already know there's gonna be hella amount of points. But before we dive into the duel, write in the comments down below who you think is the biggest cheater. Alright, let's begin. Starting off the duel, no decks were shuffled, which is strange because we had a 10-minute long scene of Marek shuffling Yugi's deck. Yugi starts his turn by putting Queen's Knight in defense mode, which we all know is a heinous crime, since in Yugioh you can either set a monster face down or in face up attack position. I really didn't expect this kind of cheating from the so-called king of games. Yugi summoning Alpha the Magnet Warrior in defense mode clearly didn't learn from his Queen's Knight mistake. Kaiba activates Soul Exchange, attempting to tribute both the Queen's Knight and the Alpha the Magnet Warrior. Sorry Kaiba, the card clearly states target 1. By the way, during the duel, Yugi and Seto will be activating normal spell cards on either player's turn, which is usually impossible. However, as long as Seto has spell Sanctuary face up, which states either player can activate spell cards on the opponent's turn, it's fine. For example, Yugi activating Change of Heart on Seto's turn is actually a legal move now. Kaiba activates Enemy Controller, pays 1000 life points and takes control of the X headcanon taken by Yugi's Change of Heart. However, to activate that effect, Seto has to tribute a monster. And why is bro paying 1000 life points? Seto thinks by paying life points he can just change the rules of the game. I don't think so, Seto Kaiba. Now, Yugi activates Life Force Sword, which seems to target Kaiba's obelisk in hand. However, it could just be randomly lucky on Yugi's part, as the Life Force Sword card randomly targets a card in Seto's hand, and it just so happened to be obelisk, so I let him off. Kaiba activates Lullaby of Obedience to take Slifer from Yugi's deck and add it to his hand, which so far is fair, or would have been if he had paid the 2000 life points, like he should have done. Scumbag Kaiba. Summoning Big Shield Gardener in defense mode. Kaiba attempts to combine Z Metal Tank to an already combined fusion of XY Dragon Cannon, which isn't possible. Yugi activates Soul Rope when his Big Shield Gardener is destroyed by the XYZ Dragon Cannon. Nice try, Yugi. Soul Rope only works when the monster is destroyed by a card effect, not battle, you fool. Kaiba activates Interdimensional Matter Transporter, which banishes his XYZ Dragon Cannon for a turn, and Slifer's attack misses. However, in that moment, Slifer should have been given an option to redeclare an attack instead of simply missing its target, unless Yugi chose not to redirect, so I guess it's not classed as cheating since it's a choice. Kaiba tributes his XYZ Dragon Cannon to summon Obelisk, but even though it's comprised of 3 monsters, it doesn't count as tributing 3. I'm not mad, just disappointed in you, Kaiba. Kaiba tributes 2 monsters to use Obelisk's effect to deal 4000 damage to all of Yugi's monsters and Yugi's life points. However, this effect is not what Obelisk does. Yugi uses Necromancy, summoning 4 random monsters in Kaiba's graveyard in defense position, and then proceeded to use Slifer's second mouth in order to destroy them. However, Slifer clearly states that if a monster is normal or special summoned in attack position, that effect activates. However, they were summoned in defense position. Yugi activates Card of Sanctity, which apparently makes both players draw until they have 6 cards in hand. I don't think so, since we all know it just allows you to draw 2 cards, and that's after banishing everything you control and in your hand. Summoning Gazelle in defense position. This guy just doesn't listen. Kaiba didn't discard a card to activate Cost Down. Shameful. Kaiba activates Card of Demise, which he states in 5 turns he had to discard his entire hand, and then he can draw until he has 5 cards in hand, which, as we true Yu-Gi-Oh fans will know, this is bullshit. What actually happens is, you are able to draw until you have 3 cards in hand, and then at the end of that current turn, they all go to the graveyard. Yugi comes back and summons Alpha the Magnet Warrior in defense mode. Kaiba activates Magic Trick Mirror, which he believes lets him activate a spell card in your opponent's opponent's graveyard. Little does he know, you can't do that, and the card actually states that you can set the spell card on your board. Kaiba used Monster Reborn on Obelisk and somehow reflected Dark Magician's attack back on Yugi, since apparently it has a protection effect. I never noticed this before. Yugi summons Red Eyes Black Dragon with Kaiba's Flute of Summoning Dragon. This is outrageous. Kaiba activates Final Attack Orders and uses this ability to change everything to attack mode, and then proceeds to add effects to the card out of nowhere. Apparently the card forces both duelists to choose 3 cards from their deck and send the rest of them to the graveyard. Talk about broken. Yugi activates Double Spell, which allows him to copy every single spell card Seto used that turn. However, as you already know, that's not what the card does. In reality, you can discard a spell card and target one spell in your opponent's graveyard and use that effect in the place of the double spell card. Seto Kaiba states a fusion monster can't attack the turn it's summoned. I mean, it can, but since that's technically a choice to attack or not, that's not breaking any rules, so I let him off. Kaiba activates Spell Absorption, which in the anime literally absorbs a spell, whereas in reality, you gain 500 life points each time a spell card is activated. And then finally guys, we get to the end of the duel where Yugi defeats Kaiba with Dark Paladin and the Diffusion Wave Motion spell card. So it seems like Seto has won the trophy for being the biggest cheater. Guys, let me know in the comments if I missed any cheating shenanigans. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time guys.